Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's crypto market analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Right, we are starting to see some recovery as far as the cryptocurrencies are concerned, that is Bitcoin and the altcoins. Is that the recovery? Are we going to start seeing the bullish market return to the crypto space? Let's have a look. All we can analyze here is the structure and the technicals. So let's have a look at what the technicals are telling us as far as the cryptocurrencies are concerned. Right, so let's start. If you'd like to contact us, do so by going on to our YouTube channel. You'll find the contact details. You'll find our contact details under the description of all the videos. So if you open any of our videos, you'll find our contact details. That includes the link to our website. And if you have any inquiry about our services, you can use the global chat on the website. So if you go onto the global chat, you can make an inquiry there. All right. So you can also follow us on our social media pages. You'll find the links under the description of all our videos. And if you like what we do, you can subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. Also hit that bell notification button so you can get an alert next time we upload a video. So we use the ELLIOTTWAVE principle to forecast the crypto market. The ELLIOTTWAVE principle can be applied in any market, whether it is the cryptocurrency market, forex market, commodities, stocks, indices, you name it. Right, so let's look at what the ELLIOTTWAVE theory, structures, and the sequences are telling us as far as the cryptocurrency market is concerned. Let's start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, let's have a look at this structure. I'm going to look at some of the forecasts that we have on our website as well, but let's start with this. So I drew this just before we started the webinar. So we have been looking at this on Bitcoin. We've been looking at this to be the whole 5 waves to the downside. I'm going to look at that structure shortly. So what are these 5 waves that we're seeing on Bitcoin? 1, 2, 3, 4. Could this have ended on Bitcoin? If that is the 5 waves, that means we're starting to look at the corrective structures. So if that is the corrective structure, we're going to start with a corrective structure here like that. Why am I already expecting a double correction? Because if you look at this corrective structure that is currently playing out here, it looks too small compared to the rest of the structure. You cannot have a small correction like this correcting such a big move. So we are looking for a double. So the likely structure that would happen here is that we get a double correction as follows on Bitcoin, and eventually if it's going to continue to the downside, we're going to have this. Okay, so that will be the structure on Bitcoin, and that will be what we expect going forward. So what the bigger structure will be is this. So we would have these 5 waves down here as A, and this double correction as B, all of that as B, and then as C. Okay, so what did we focus last week? Let's go down now into the lower degree here. I'm going to go down here. So last week we were coming down here with this structure. Let's have a look here. So last week we forecasted that we're going to have this move here coming down here with the 1, 2, 3. This is now in the lower degree. We expected this to come up here in 3 waves like that. So we traded as low as 29,000 on Bitcoin. Let's go into the forecast here and look at what we had on the cryptocurrencies. Let's have a look at the 4-hour structure here. So this is what we had on the 4-hour. As you can see here, our forecast last week was that we're going to reverse around 31,000 and push to the upside. But we have traded as low as 29,000 last week. So we've come down here. We did not invalidate at 28,000. So we've come back down here. We are currently looking at this. And as you can see, this yellow degree is showing us that we're going to have a double correction, as I was showing you earlier on. How the structure of the double correction is going to play out, that's the only thing we cannot tell. But for now, we are looking for this to continue to the upside in 3 waves to complete this first correction. If we're going to get a double, we're going to have a pullback, and we're going to have another corrective structure. Whether that structure becomes a flat or a zigzag does not matter, and likely that can come back to the 50% of the whole move. Okay, I hope that is not confusing if I just label that. So this is A in the yellow degree. This will be the 50% of this whole A, the retracement here, 50% of this retracement of this whole move. So that's why we're expecting a double correction here in the red degree. So what we expect going forward as far as Bitcoin is concerned, there are a lot of positive fundamental news, including news that Tesla and SpaceX, Tesla is going to start accepting Bitcoin again as a method of payment, and that there are also rumors, these are now rumors, these are not confirmed, that Amazon is going to make a 1.9 billion investment on Bitcoin itself, and that Tesla is now going to accept Bitcoin as a method of payment, and that SpaceX itself has invested, is going to invest a couple of billions onto Bitcoins, and Elon Musk is holding Bitcoins personally. All right, so these are some of the fundamentals, but obviously this is news that we don't ignore, but that we cannot determine how that affects the market. How we determine the market reaction is with the technical chart. So this is what we can see here. We can see that we've got 3 waves to the upside here. We've got these coming down in 3 waves. As much as this traded lower than the 29,000 here, we're still expecting this to make another 3 waves to the upside. That will complete this corrective structure. So let's see here, can Bitcoin get back to around 38,000? We can do that, but first we will need to get a pullback and then upside. So we'll expect a bit of a pullback before continuation to the upside, before we get to about 38,000. 38,000 is possible to the upside, and likely 36,000 from where we are currently. That is what we're expecting. Expect a bit of a pullback and then upside. Let's look at the rest. Let's look at Ethereum 4 hour. As you can see, we have been looking for this to continue pushing to the upside as far as Ethereum is concerned. I'll show you the rest of the structure here now. So Ethereum last week, we expected this to give us one more down and then upside. We have got that one more down. You'll see the structure just now. This was showing us continuation to the downside. We have got that one more down, and we're now pushing to the upside as forecasted there. Let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is one of the altcoins that is doped to be one that will perform better than most in the next coming months or so. Right, so this is what we have. So as you can see here, we had that continuation pattern. We've come down here. We are pushing to the upside. This could go up here with a shallow pullback, and we get to around 22,400 on Ethereum. So this is another likely possibility on Ethereum. Look out for this as well. So we can come here, we can come here, we can come here. We'll have that structure like that. We would have this as a push to the upside, as a push to the upside. All of this will be an A, B, C corrective structure before we push to the upside. So we're still pretty much sideways. We're not out of the woods yet, but eventually the bigger structure is to the upside. For now, we're going to look at this to give us a pullback and then upside here to complete this structure. Are we going to trade higher than that? So this is Ethereum. We're looking for 2,500 in the next coming session. We're taking it one wave at a time. Litecoin, let's go to Litecoin as well. Look at the forecast. Litecoin, as you can see, we forecasted that we're going to have a move to the upside. We have traded slightly lower here, but we are currently pushing to the upside as far as Litecoin is concerned. As you can see, we are also expecting a double correction here. So just be mindful that this X is a bit too small compared to the rest of the structure. It's just we didn't want to make it big here just for space purposes. This has not played out here yet, but we understand that the degree will be much bigger than this. That is Litecoin, expecting this to continue up higher. Let's go to Litecoin. So as you can see, that is already in play as forecasted. We have got that move here on Ethereum. We're looking for this to push to the upside. We can pull back the same way we had this pullback here. Upside here, we've got 1, 2, 3. So WXY corrective structure. We look for Litecoin to get around 150, 160 levels. Similar structure as Ethereum, this one really. Ripple, let's go to Ripple again as well. Ripple structure on the side, this is what we have. Again, we forecasted that we're going to have a move to the upside. We got a slight move to the downside here, and we are now making this move to the upside again, a double correction. So be mindful that this is a smaller correction than what we expect. That is Ripple. As you can see here, we forecasted that we're going to have that move to the upside. It was already playing out. Look out for this one to push slightly higher before we get that pullback, and then upside. We'll look for 0.7 on Ripple for now. We may get a double correction here, but we're not worried about this. We're taking it one wave at a time, back to around 0.7, 0.72 on Ripple. Right, next is Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, we still expect Dogecoin to continue pushing to the upside. Last week, we expected Dogecoin to continue slightly lower and continue and come and retest around 28 cents. So that is still the expectation as far as Doge is concerned. We started with a move here with 3 waves to the downside. Could this be the corrective structure here? Could we get a double here as far as Doge is concerned and we get back to around 50%? Or we can just get this making a 3-wave structure here to the upside. So all of these possibilities are valid, but for now, we're going to take it one wave at a time. We're going to take it back to 28,000. When we get to 28,000, then we're going to evaluate, are we going to get this pullback? So that is Dogecoin. ADA. Now, ADA looks pretty interesting. Let me show you the structure that I expect on ADA. But again, with ADA, last week, we forecasted all of these moves. These bounces, we forecasted all of them. So we can get this one doing this. But what is the rest of the structure if we get to this level here? As far as this one is concerned, we can have this one making 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3 waves down. What will be the implication of that? Implication is that we're going to be sideways for a while before we get out of the woods. So the move here started here as follows. Let me use a straight line here. You can see the spike came down here. That spike came back up here. So then we'll expect this to pull back here. What have I just done here? So what I've done here is this. Let me show you here with a different color. Let's use white this time. Then you'll see the rest of the structure. So we've got a move down here in white. That's the spike that went down and pulled back. So that is a wave, and that is a wave. So you don't ignore the spikes, and we'll expect this. If this happens here, then the move is done, and we'll expect now the prevailing trend to continue. So what we are looking for here is for this correction to complete, and we look for more upside. What does that correction mean? Let's look at the bigger structure. The bigger white degree will be A, B, C, higher degree. You have a complex B correction here in the purple, not the white one. The white one is not complex, it's a normal correction. You've got ABC here in the purple degree, and that B here in purple is for the whole yellow degree. And you've got WXY structure here like that. So that's what we have there. Where are we now currently? We can go even lower, but that's going to be a tedious process to do this here on a live webinar. So there's structures in these charts. We've got that for members. So what you have here, you can even have this one as another WXY. So that means here, if we're pushing to the upside here, this pullback will be in the lower degree, and we'll look for this to continue to the upside. So when we say look for continuation to the upside, it's coming from the bigger corrective structure. That is ADA. ADA is looking pretty interesting and looks more bullish than most cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying that's going to happen now, but I'm saying when the corrective structure is done, it is clear that we're going to see a move to the upside eventually. All right, so that is ADA, BNB, that is Binance. Binance looks interesting. So we can see we've made a move to the upside. We've got the 3 waves pullback. We're still expecting Binance to continue pushing to the upside. We can come up here and do this. My mouse is a bit misbehaving. 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3 up here. 1, 2, 3 up here, makes a flat and continue to the upside. So this will be a very interesting structure as far as Binance is concerned. So let's see what happens when it takes the top here. It may pull back for this structure. Okay, so that is a Binance. Let's look at, I'm not going to go through all of them. They mostly have similar structures. Let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is one of the cryptocurrencies, or one of the altcoins that are going to perform better in the next coming sessions. We've got 3 waves up, we've got 3 waves back here. We'll expect this to push slightly higher. 3 waves up, 3 waves back. 1, 2. Why is that misbehaving? We'll expect this here, the same way we had this one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's do this here. 1, 2, 3. This one is getting an extended leg here. 1, 2, 3. We'll expect the same here. 1, 2, 3 to retest around $500 on Bitcoin Cash. All right, and lastly, let's have a look at Link. So Link, expect a 3-wave pullback to around these levels. That is what we're expecting on Link. And that's all I have for you this week, guys. Trade responsibly. The cryptocurrencies, as much as we're seeing the bounces and there's positive fundamental news, it is not going to happen now just as yet. Okay, so be patient. For long-term investments, you can still wait for the cryptocurrencies to drop a little bit more. If you're trading short-term, you can trade the bounces, you can short them. I do not necessarily, I do not trade, I do not short the cryptocurrencies because I invest for them on them in the long term. Okay, so I'm still bullish on the cryptocurrencies over the long term. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.